Yo, it's your homeboy Kiiro in the building. Welcome to another open discussion video. In this episode, I'm going to be talking about Patreon. So, what is Patreon? Well, basically, I'm going to explain Kickstarter to you. Hopefully, you know what it is already. If you don't, I'll just give a brief explanation so that everyone's on the same page. Kickstarter is a website that lets you fund a project. So this could be a movie, this could be a game, this could be whatever product you might need to make or whatever you want to do with the money. It doesn't necessarily have to be a product itself. It could be a service, or basically you promise to deliver this product or service if you reach a goal, a financial goal that you set that is usually fixed and that usually cannot be changed. Basically, with Kickstarter is pretty strict with what you said at the beginning, and you don't really have that much flexibility with it, which I think is a good thing because it avoids scam. Because the more flexible the person setting it up is, the more likely, well, not more likely, but the easier it would be for them to scam you if they wanted to. And so the strictness with Kickstarter is really good. And in Kickstarter, if a goal is not met on time, because you have to set a number of days in addition to the finances you get, if that goal is not met within that time period, you have to do a complete refund to everyone who has donated money to you. So yeah, Kickstarter is really trusted for those reasons because of its strict policy. It means there's a less scam, and who wants to be scammed? Who wants to be scammed? So that's why Kickstarter is so popular, and it's popular amongst the producers of the content, the products and the services, because it's already popular with the users. So that's where the people go to, because there's no point going to a website that's makes it very easy to scam people if only one or two people are going to donate $2. You know what I'm saying? Or even if you don't want to scam people, it's better to bend over backwards and work with Kickstarter and get your money and get your product or your service going than to be stubborn and not accomplish anything on an inferior on a website with a smaller base, user base or popularity, whatever term you want to use. So basically, hopefully you understand what it means. And as far as the pledges go, you might think, well, if I donate $1 million and somebody donates $1, that's garbage. Why should we be getting the same thing? And the thing is, you don't. In Kickstarter, the producer gets to state what the rewards are for pledging set amounts of money. Usually there's a maximum, right? So it's like $1 or over, you're gonna get this. $2 or over, you're gonna get that. $500 or over, you're gonna get that. It's just something like that. And like I said, or over, so that means people who donate the minimum amount to get a reward, people who donate the maximum amounts are gonna get everything that's within the maximum reward, in addition to the stuff that people who donated less were getting. And of course, like I said, when I say there's a maximum reward, that doesn't mean there's a maximum amount you can donate. That's just the maximum reward you can get. So even if you donate an infinite amount of money, that doesn't mean you're going to get infinite rewards. You know what I'm saying? So there is a maximum, there is a minimum for rewards, and the more you donate, the more rewards you get. And the rewards you get are set at fixed points, so you could count them like checkpoints in gaming. And the more people who donate more are gonna get the same thing that people donated less did, plus extra if they are at I guess you could call them checkpoint. I don't know the jargon, for the term, because I don't really use Kickstarter like that, but I just know how it works. So that's Kickstarter in a nutshell. Patreon is pretty much the exact same thing, except Patreon is ongoing. So it's not for a project, it's for a person. So you're gonna and it's marketed as a website for content creators. So it could be musicians, drawers, painters, or just regular YouTube kind of personality kind of people. Generally, it's people who make videos, right? There's really nothing evil about Patreon. It's just a tool. But before I get into that, let me try and finish what I was saying. So Patreon it's ongoing. So if you say you want to pledge $1, you're saying you want to pledge $1 each month. So it's gonna deduct the $1 from you each month. I assume it's on a direct debit basis or whatever. And similar to Kickstarter, there are rewards, and there are reward checkpoints or whatever. And in both Kickstarter and Patreon, the rewards and the reward checkpoints or whatever that you're gonna get are all determined by the content producer. So the content producer is gonna state what you're gonna get, and it's up to you to decide if it's worth donating, this large amount, for this reward. Now, of course, the people who don't care about the rewards, they just donate because they want to. That's perfectly fine. But there are people who donate because of the rewards, and whatever you get yourself into, that's on you. Yeah, so that's pretty much it as far as a Patreon and Kickstarter go. And like I was saying before, Patreon is not inherently evil. It's all up to the content creator to determine how fair or how unfair they want their whole scheme to be. They can make a fucking and here's another thing with Patreon: you don't get any refunds. In Kickstarter, if you don't reach your goal, you gotta refund everything. In Patreon, that's not the case. You just roll over to the next month, and it is what it is. The person walks away with all the cash. That's not the case in Kickstarter, which is fair in Kickstarter's case. In Patreon, I don't think that's fair, but that's what you get yourself into, and that's a risk you are prepared to make. Like I said before, people who just make donations, it's fine by them, because they didn't really care about the reward in the first place. But a lot of people do, in fact, I don't really blame people for tailoring the rewards to get more donations. That only makes sense. That's a very logical thing to do. I support logic, I support rationality, but I do not support people abusing the system. And that's a subjective thing, I guess, and that's a case by case thing. I just wanted basically to release this video so people know that Patreon is not inherently evil. It's all up to the content creators to determine what they want to, how they want to, give you rewards or whatever. And like I said, some people, they just want to donate. They don't really care too much about the rewards, and that's perfectly fine, in my opinion. Yeah, so that's pretty much it. Just an educational video, so everyone knows what Patreon is about, because you're gonna hear it a lot in this community. Because well, I won't get into that now, but yeah. Hopefully this has been educational. You've walked away from this learning something, especially if you didn't understand Patreon or Kickstarter. Hopefully you understand both of them now. There's one more I'm gonna give a brief shout out to. That's Indiegogo. It's basically like Kickstarter, except you have a lot more flexibility. So it is not ongoing like Patreon. It's for single things, except that's a lot more flexible than Kickstarter. But it isn't quite as popping, because like I said, no one wants to be scammed, and you can definitely get scammed if somebody wants to scam you and they're smart enough. They can probably get away with something. I'm not saying they can run away with all your money or anything but that flexibility can really fuck you over. Yeah, so that's basically it. Oh yeah, and another thing I want to talk about is investment. So basically the whole point of the whole reward system, the reason why it exists is, Kickstarter, the reason why it exists is, in business you have investors, and basically the amount of money they put in it should be proportional to what they get. So, and if an investor gives you a shit ton of money, they can very often basically own your business, or own 51% of it, or 49%, or something ridiculous like that. And it's all up to you to decide if you want the money or not. But it's proportional. You're not gonna get, there's no such thing as charities when it comes to like stupidly large amounts of money, and that's why but anyways, yeah, sorry, I'm really getting off topic, but that's just something I want to point out, is the whole investment side of it. And that is why the rewards and those reward checkpoint things are stressed, because people, if you want to make a, unless you're doing some kind of charity for cancer or something, you really shouldn't expect a shit ton of donations. And I use the term donations because when I say donate, people don't really expect anything back. You know what I'm saying? So there's a difference between a donation and an investment. So some people donate and some people invest. A lot of people, in fact, a majority of people who are gonna, give you money on Kickstarter or Patreon are investors. They want something in return, and that's where some of the drama comes when it comes to talking about Patreon, Kickstarter, or Indiegogo. It's not the fact that people gave their money, because like I said, if it's a donation, they don't want anything back anyways. but it's the fact that people actually invest and they expect rewards back, and these rewards are typically promised, by the Kickstarter or by the Indiegogo content creator. But anyways, I'm gonna wrap things up. I think I said enough about the topic. Thank you for tuning all the way to the end. Like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. And as always, thank you guys for watching.